Hi guys, this is Sadek from Dwarven.com, and in this video, we'll show you how to fix the issue of being unable to update your Samsung phone and getting the error message of your phone OS has been modified in an unauthorized way. Try updating using Smart Switch on your PC or contact customer service. So this is happening because you have unlocked the bootloader on your phone. Apart from that, even if you have obtained root or are using any other tweaks or modification, you will then also get this prompt. But the major reason for this prompt is that the bootloader on your phone is currently unlocked. You may relog the bootloader and then easily install the OTA, but that's quite an obvious fix, and you are not here for that fix. It's quite obvious. So in this video, I'll show you how to bypass this issue and install the update onto your phone. So with that in mind, let's get started. First and foremost, please take a backup of all the data on your phone just to be on the safer side. Once that is done, you will now have to install the Samsung USB drivers on your PC. This is required so that your PC is able to read the phone and identify the phone in the USB mode and debugging mode as well. So install the drivers exe file from here and then launch the exe file and install it onto your PC. Once that is done, you may verify the same as well by right clicking on the Windows icon, then choose Device Manager, and your phone should now be shown here is under Universal Serial Bus Controller as well. These are the drivers file, and apart from that, you could also see the Android device, Samsung Android ADB interface. So we have the drivers installed. The USB drivers are the most important ones, so we have them installed. Once you have installed the drivers, you will now have to install Odin onto your PC as well. Odin is required to flash the latest OTA update. Since we cannot use our phone as of now because it's showing this error message, we will be using the Odin tool to flash the firmware. So get hold of the Odin tool from here and extract them onto your PC. You could extract them anywhere you want. In my case, I have done the extraction in C drive, and upon extraction you will get the following files. Let me show you. These are the files of the Odin tool, as you could see. Moving on, you will now have to download the Samsung stock firmware on your PC. This is the most important part. You may download using the Freeja tool or the SamFW website. So let me show you about both these tools. So if you talk about the Freeja tool, so in this tool what you have to do is get hold of the tool from your guide, from my guide, and once that is done, you will also have to install the Microsoft .NET Core. So download the Freeja tool from here, install the Microsoft .NET Core as well on your PC, then extract the Freeja tool on your PC. You will get the following files, then launch the Freeja tool, and after that you will also have to enable USB debugging on your phone. So for that, go to the settings menu on your phone, then go to about phone and tap software information and tap on build number 7 times. You will get that you are now a developer. So go back, now go to developer option and enable the toggle next to USB debugging. As soon as you do so, choose the auto mode from here and then click on check update, and it will now bring up the latest available update. As you could see, the Freeja tool will now bring up the update, and we have the update now. You may download the update from here. Just click on download button, or if you don't want to enable USB debugging and connect your phone to the PC, if you don't want to establish any connection, then in that case you may simply unplug your phone as well from the PC and choose the manual mode. But for that, you will then have to manually type in the phone model number, CSC code, as well as the IMEI or serial number, and after that click on check update, and you will get the update via that method as well. But the easiest way is simply enable USB debugging and connect your phone to PC via USB cable, and then choose the automatic method and hit the check update button, and with that you will get all the updates automatically. So that is usually the easiest approach of the two, and it's the recommended approach as well. So simply choose the auto method and click on check update, and you will get the latest update. Hit the download button and you will then get the update. So this is the latest update. Apart from that, you may also use the SamFW website. So regarding the website, let me show you the site as well. So simply go to the SamFW website, and if you have already enabled debugging, you may click on the USB icon, choose your phone from here and click on connect, then click on the firmware name, and you will now be taken here in the CSC page. You may now verify the CSC. For instance, mine is the India, so I'll choose INS code. Once that is done, You will now scroll down and choose the latest firmware from here. Click on the version, and then you may download the file from any of these server. For the Google Drive, you will have to log into your account, and then you may also choose any of these servers. So there exists two methods. So which out of the two should you opt for? Well, in case of the feature tool, it will only give you the latest available update. But in case of the SAMFW website, you will also get some of the older updates as well. As you could see, the latest one is for the month of May, 17th May. But apart from that, I also have for the month of April, March, February, January. So if I want to flash an older build as well, then I could use from here. But that is not the case with the feature tool. In case of feature, you could only get the latest available firmware. So if you want to flash an older build, I am not talking about the downgrade. So keep this point in mind. For instance, let me show you what exactly I am talking about. So if I go to the settings menu, software update. So as of now, my latest build, so they are not showing it here. Let me go to the about phone section, software information. So as of now, you could see the build number on my phone is of 1st April 2024, and over here we have the May build as well. So let's say you are currently on the February build and you don't want to flash the latest May build. Then in that case, you may also flash the April or the March build. Just keep in mind that do not do a downgrade directly. For downgrading, there is a separate video and guide I have made. You may check out that guide. You may download an older build, but at least it should be newer than the current build. So if the current build is of month of February, you may download the March April build as well instead of the May build if you want. With that said, I have got hold of the latest May build, and let me show you. Once you have done the download, the firmware will be in an zip encrypted format. This is the zip file. You may then extract it. For extraction, you may use any tool of your choice. I am using the 7-zip software, and the extraction might take a little bit longer. There should be overall 6 files: AP, BP, BL, CP, CSC, and home CSC. Out of this, we have to flash the 5 files. The only file which we don't want to flash is the, let me show you, out of the CSC and the home CSC, we have to flash any one of these two files. If you want to do a format data, then flash the CSC file. If you don't want a format data, then flash the home CSC. As of now, since we are simply flashing the normal OTA updates and we aren't doing any major OS upgrade, or we aren't removing the root or doing any such tweaks as well, you may simply do a normal OTA update without doing a wipe. Still, I will highly recommend you to take a backup beforehand, because if something goes wrong, then we might have to do a format data. So in that case, it's a recommended approach to take a backup beforehand. So as of now, we'll flash the AP, BL, CP and the home CSC because we don't want to do a format data, and then we'll verify the result. If in rare cases something goes wrong, then you will have to again flash the file, but this time around you will have to flash the CSC file instead of the home CSC and get the job done. With that said, the extraction is currently going on, and the file AP is the largest among all these files, and it will take the maximum amount of time. Rest all the files are somewhat shorter in size. So let's just wait, and in the meantime, let's move ahead with the next step. So now you will have to boot your phone to the download mode. So for that, I made a separate guide and a video as well. Still, let me show you how to get this job done. There exists quite a few ways, including the hardware key combination, but as of now, I'll show you the steps using the ADB command, because that is acceptable across all the Samsung phones. So make sure to enable USB debugging by tapping on build number 7 times. Then go to settings, developer option, and enable USB debugging. After that, you will have to boot your phone to download mode. For that, also download the platform tools on your PC. I've given the link for this as well. Just a minute, let me remove a few additional files. And these are the files of the platform tools. Now let me show you. So it could take a few seconds for that to happen. So let's just wait for the files to be removed. And the rest of the files, as you could see, are the files of the platform tools folder, which we have extracted. You may extract them anywhere you want on your PC. So now we have the platform tools file. Now type in CMD in the address bar and hit enter. This will launch command prompt inside platform tools. So let's wait for a few seconds. In the meantime, the extraction is also going on, and it will take a few more seconds. If the CMD window does not open from here, then simply copy the path. Then you may also open the CMD window from the start menu and then launch it as an administrator and then do a change directory from there. In my case, it has not been opened. So first off, type in ADB devices and make sure that you are getting a serial ID. If you are not getting any ID, then unplug and replug your phone from the PC. Disable and re-enable USB debugging. Tap on revoke USB debugging authorization. As you could see from here, use the official USB cable that came with your phone, or try out using any other USB cable from any other phone, but that should be the official cable only. Likewise, try using the USB 2.0 port on your PC. So try out this USB tweaks and make sure that you're getting an ID. Once you're getting this ID, now type in ADB reboot download, and your phone should now reboot into the download mode. It will take just a few more seconds for that to happen. In the meantime, the extraction is now complete. Let me verify the same once. So this is the zip file, and the extracted file should be somewhat here itself, and this is the extracted file, around 8 GB in size, and is for the latest May build. Let's go inside. As you could see, we have the following 5 files. Just to repeat, if you want to do a format data, then flash the CSC. If you don't want any format data, then flash the home CSC. As of now, since we are flashing the normal OTA update, we will not require the formatting of data, so we will simply flash the home CSC. Still, in rare cases, there might be a few issues, so in that case, it's advised to flash the CSC, and to be on the safer side, please take a backup beforehand. With that said, let's now launch the Odin tool via the exe file. You will get a prompt, click on OK. Now make sure that your phone is being shown under the COM port as well as in the log as well. It should show as added. Now click on the BL button. Go to the folder where you have extracted the firmware, the latest firmware, and the first one is the BL. So choose the BL file, click on open, and it should now be loaded onto your phone and onto your PC. It's done. Then click on AP. Choose the AP file, click on open. The AP file takes the maximum amount of time. It could take up to around 30 to 40 seconds in some cases as well. That is completely normal and nothing to worry about. So let's just wait for a few more seconds, and you could keep a track of the status from the log section. Once the file has been added, it will be shown here in the next to the AP slot as well. So let's just wait, and the user data slot will remain empty. There is no file to be loaded in this slot. This slot usually comes in handy if you are flashing a custom recovery. In that case, the VB-Meta patch file needs to be uploaded in this user data slot, because we need to disable the Android verified boot. But while we are flashing the stock firmware, that is not required. With that said, the AP is now loaded as well. Now click on CP, choose the CP file, click on open, and it's loaded. Click on CSC. Fine. Again, I am repeating, if you want a format data, you choose CSC. If you don't want a format data, choose home CSC. As of now, I'm using the home CSC. Once that is done, it will take a few seconds. Go to the option tab and make sure auto reboot and F reset time has been check marked. If that's well and good, just hit the start button and the flashing will now start. It will now flash each of the partitions, and you could keep a track of the same from the top left as well. So let's just wait for the flashing to complete, and you could keep a track of it from the log section as well. The super partition is the heaviest and largest of all the partition, and it will take the maximum time. So let's wait for the files to be flashed. So guys, the flashing is now complete. In the Odin tool, you will get a pass message. Likewise, on your phone should now boot to the OS automatically, and the first boot up might take up some additional time frame. This is completely normal and nothing to worry about. Moreover, if you have flashed the CSV file for a format data, then your phone will again take somewhat more time. In our case, we have flashed the home CSV, so our phone has not got a format data, so it should boot a little bit faster. With that said, let's just wait for a few more seconds for our phone to boot to the OS. So guys, as you could see in my case, it's now asking to do a format data. As I have told you in the beginning, there might be rare cases wherein it might ask you to do a format data. So in my case, since I had flashed the home CSV file, the format did not happen, but as a result of which my phone is not able to boot to the OS. So now I am left with no choice but to do a format data. So, or I could do one more thing. I could simply reboot my phone to the download mode and flash the entire firmware, but this time around I may flash the home CSC, or rather this time around I may flash the CSC file, but that will take quite a lot of time. So instead we are now inside the stock recovery, and from here let's do a format data, and after a format data our phone should then boot to the OS. So simply use the volume keys to highlight factory data reset and press the power key to confirm, and again use the volume key to highlight factory data reset and press the power key to confirm, and your phone will undergo a reset. It's now undergone a reset, and once that is done, it should now automatically boot to the OS. So as I have told you in the beginning, there are a few cases in which your phone might not boot to the OS unless you have done a reset, and it turns out that was the case with my phone as well. So in my phone I have TWRP recovery installed as well, so it might happen that might have caused a few conflicts, or I have quite a few tweaks and customizations installed as well. Any one of them might cause an issue. Since we are not in the stock ecosystem, these issues are quite normal and nothing to worry about. So with that said, since our phone has undergone a reset, it will now take a little bit longer to boot to the OS. So let's just wait for the phone to show the boot up screen, after which I will skip the initial setup process and take you to the home menu as well. So let's just wait for the phone to boot up. So guys, the phone is now booted to the OS, and do note that it was stuck in the Samsung logo for around 45 to 50 seconds, which is quite a long time, but that's completely normal because we have done a factory reset. So don't worry if your phone is also stuck in that screen. This is just for the one time delay. From the subsequent time that will not be the case. Anyways, let's now set up our phone from scratch, which will take just a few more seconds. No, I don't want this app to be installed. Let me uncheck it and skip all this stuff. And so with this you have got an idea of our phones are now booted to the OS. Let me allow it as well. So guys, just to recall, there exist two methods of getting this job done, either via the Freesia tool or via the SamFW website. The only difference between the two is that in case of Freesia, you will only get the latest firmware, whereas in case of SamFW, you could download an older build as well, but don't download an older build which is older than the current firmware, because then that will be a downgrade which might cause a few issues. Moreover, in case of the Freesia tool, if you may use both the auto and manual. In case of auto mode, you will have to enable USB debugging. In case of manual mode, you could get the job done without USB debugging, but you will then have to type in the model number, INS, the CSC code, and the IMEI or serial number as well, and then only you could check for the update. And apart from that, in most cases, doing a normal OTA update will not require a factory reset. So you may flash the home CSC, but in rare cases, as you might have seen in my case, it required a factory reset. That is why I told you beforehand to take a backup of all the data, and if that happens, then you could either boot your phone to the download mode and flash the CSC file, or you may simply do a format data from the stock recovery as well, as I have shown you in the video. And after doing a format data, your phone will then boot to the OS. And let's now check out the software version. We should be on the latest build as of now. So about phone, software information, and you could see now we are on the 1st of May April patch. Earlier I was on the April patch, and now I am on the May patch. You could rewind the video and have a look at that as well. So we have done the upgrade, but this upgrade came at a cost for me. I had to do a format data, whereas if I had installed via the normal OTA update, then I might not have to do the format data. But there are always a few risks if we carry out a task in an unlocked bootloader and a risky environment. So there are always a few caveats and the drawback involved in carrying out such tasks if you have an unlocked bootloader. That's the thing with these tweaks. Anyways guys, on that note, I round up this video. If you have any queries with regard to any of the steps, do let me know in the comment section, and thanks a lot for watching.